Hello everyone. Today, as you see, we are not in our studio. Today we are guests. So today we are men who made history in the world football, and it's honor for me and for Javor also to say hello to Nemanja Vidich. Hello, Nemanja.
Hi guys, great to have you here.
Thank you that you invite in your home.
Thank you very much. And before we starting, we have a small surprise for you.
Сърбин, само я мога то кажем. Тако, си други са били Неманя Видич, мистер Видич. Ево, брате, хотел съм само да те поздравим, надявам се да е sve u redu. Pričaš su bugarski novinare, tako sme, Balkan Connection. Može si im reci kako smo sedeli pred ogledalo, gledali smo i smo bili kao, pa igramo u englesku. Ne izgledame kao bodybuilderi, ali smo jači kao vi. Isto, vidi to. Znaš ko je lepši tu, a? Isto je sad tako.
Didn't change.
Čekaj, malo engleski, da znaš da puno pričam ja. You've been one of the best. You know that. There's no need to say it. One of the best ever. It is what it is. Ajde, brate, vidimo se sa najbolje. Isto, možeš im reci koji priča punosa i koji mani. Možeš reci nešto na bugarski. Ajde, čao.
He just said, listen, he teach me a few words in Bulgarian, but I'm not sure I should say that.
Do not.
No, Berba is fantastic, obviously. We played so many years together and so many great memories and a lot of laugh with Berba. Berba is sometimes people see him as very quiet, but he can joke, he can have a fun and
Sense of humor.
yes, fantastic teammate and fantastic friend.
On 29th of January, it will be 10 years since you retired from football. And do you miss the game? Why you did not stay as a coach, and what are you doing now?
Actually, yes, I retired nearly 10 years ago. So yeah, my idea was to stay in football. I finished my pro license when I was 2 years after I retired, because I already finished AAB license when I was in Manchester United. So idea first was to be the coach. So when I retired, I was living in Italy, in Milan, and I was there with the family, and we are thinking what we're going to do in the future. So I had a few offers to start my coaching career, but at the time I was thinking it's important to stay with the family. My kids, they are at the time really young, so I wanted to spend time with them. I have 3 boys. I was thinking if I leave my home now and go abroad and travel without the family, I think that will be an issue in the future. So I prolonged that in my coaching career, and I stayed in Italy because of the language and obviously great place to live. And every year is passing by, I was further from the football. And I was thinking, to be the coach, obviously the manager in the football, it's not easy. It's not easy for the family. It's not easy in modern world, so much stress. I think the coaches, they are not respected as are in the past. So I went to different paths. I went to the school in UEFA, which is a master for the officials, so to work as a sport director or president of the national team. That was idea. That was course for 2 years. So actually I was on that course with Mikhail Alexandrov. He was with me as well. So there was like new generations of young ex-football players that they have experience playing abroad. They know languages and they want to learn and to be ready when opportunity comes to maybe be in charge on very important role in for example, Bulgarian FA or Serbian FA. So that was my path. And yes, I miss football in terms of to be around the football, but I wanted to do something which is gonna make a difference. If you just be in the football to be in the football, it's not me. Or I'm going to be in the right way, or I'm not going to be in the football. So that's the situation at the moment now. I'm following the football. I'm I'm spending a lot of time traveling abroad and learning when is the football going, which direction. Obviously, I was with Stylian Petro a few weeks ago together. We are talking again what we're going to talk about. Of course, we're going to talk about football. So yes, I'm around the football, but I'm not in it yet.
What was it like for a boy from Titovo Užice to sign at first with the biggest Serbian club, Red Star, or Crvena Zvezda, as you know, then the biggest club in Russia, Spartak Moscow, and finally to sign with Manchester United? Okay, we know that talent is for sure, but except the talent, what exactly needs to some guy from this small town?
You need much more than talent. You need sacrifice. Obviously, you need to will to succeed. You have to be open-minded to learn. You know, if you don't listen to your coaches, if you're not open to improve yourself, I don't think you have a chance. If I look at my career from the early days and to the last day of my career, I always want to improve. And if you ask me, did I was the best player or most talented players in my generations, I would say there was a couple of players that more talented than me, but they didn't succeed because they didn't have that resilience, desire, sacrifice, discipline. So, you know, without that, you cannot be the football player. I don't think you can succeed in anything you do in your life. So I think mentality is important. So yeah, I was lucky to have good coaches. I was lucky that in early days of my career, I was playing with the older players. And when you play with the older players, you become more tough, you know, because you have to fight for yourself. You have to always play 100%, you know, every challenge. And, you know, the older players, they don't treat you easy, you know, especially in back days, you know, you have to be respectful to the older players. Sometimes they will take advantage of you, but in long term, actually that helped me, you know, to be tougher and fight for myself. So a lot of things actually deciding are you going to be the football player or you succeed in your life. But most of all, you know, discipline.
You worked with one of the greatest managers of this age, Sir Alex. Do you think that 30 and more years staying at Manchester United like a manager creates some kind of dependency? And this is the reason that now the Manchester in this situation, probably.
I think that, first of all, if I understand your question, independency obviously earned to be.
Dependency from him, no, from him.
Dependent from him. You know what, when you are 30 years at the club, you know, you have your direction. Obviously, you have your system, how the club was working for many years, and was very successful. Yes. I think that obviously that aura of Sir Alex Ferguson will always be behind of the managers, but I think every big club have that. You know, if you're coach of Real Madrid, you have a pressure. If you are coach of AC Milan, Inter, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, you have a pressure. I think that what was the issue in maybe early days of Sir Alex Ferguson leaving and David Gill, I think that recruitment is something which Man United have failed to bring the right players, not just in terms of the quality, but in terms of the mentality as well.
And character, baby.
Exactly. So I think that, you know, to play for Man United and to play week in, week out, you have to have a certain character. You have to be a winner. You have to be someone that willing to improve every day. And obviously, you know, you play a game today and you played well, you know, you forget that. You cannot leave that moment and going enjoying party and say I played well last 3 games and, you know,
because the
I'm
next
happy
game
with
is
that.
coming.
No, next game is most important game. Either if you lose or win. So actually playing for Man United, I didn't enjoy in terms of winning so many trophies because you didn't have time to enjoy because every time is next game. I remember we won the Champions League final. We didn't have celebration with our fans, you know. The last word Sir Alex Ferguson told us before we left the plane, he said, guys, be prepared for next season. We're going to have some signings. make sure that you are coming in right shape, because it's not going to be mercy. So we were thinking like we are the champions of the Europe, and you're going home, the coach telling you like maybe next year you're not going to be good enough.
That was his way.
That was his way, but he was example. First of all, he's the first on the pitch. He's leaving the last, and his character and desire to win, you can see that watching the game. The goals we scoring in the last minute, you see the man, he's 70 years old. He was jumping, smiling, exciting, running around.
Also ready to fight.
100%. So, you have to have that winning mentality and desire if you want to play for the big club.
Okay, because Milko support Liverpool, and I'll ask you.
Finally, they start enjoying a bit. They have a suffering for 20 years. So, let them enjoy a bit.
Okay,
hopefully not for so long.
I'm not sure.
Is the Klopp was right when he leave Liverpool, maybe to avoid creating same kind of this dependency, same like Sir Alex?
I don't think he's that. I think that obviously first, of course, he was attached to Liverpool. He won the Premier League. He won a lot of trophies with Liverpool. But I think in the end of the day, his soul belongs, I think, to Germany and where he's from. Second, I think the way he trained every day, his players actually train every day, and the football he was playing at the time, it was really difficult for the players, because he said once, some people, they like pop music, but he likes rock music. So he likes to, when he comes in the game, they want players to always to play in the sprints, to high press, and it's difficult to do that for many years. So I think for him, and for the club, I think he make the right decision. I think for the coach came after him, he left the good players. He left the players physically prepared to work hard, and obviously with small change of the tactics, this coach managed to win the trophies again. Because I think if they play the same level, like same game like Klopp played, I think it will be difficult to win the trophies. He was more adjusted to the players because of the age as well for the players. They couldn't play pressing 90 minutes. No more. So I think it was the right decision, and obviously other coach did fantastic. So I think that's down as well to the club. So he has a credit as well that he left the team in a good shape.
Okay, we spoke about Manchester some later. I would like to ask you something else about the situation in Serbia. In Bulgaria, maybe 90% of fans believes that the football belongs to political mafia. Is that the same in Serbia, or it's?
I think we have an issue in Balkan. Politics want to be involved too much in sports, especially in football, because it's, especially in Serbia, it's the most popular sport. A lot of people and I would say watching the game, and obviously they're creating kind of opinions, creating environments and control as well. So I think political parties and everyone who come to run the country, they want to have a control. I don't think it's good for sport. That's my opinion. And I think we see some evidence of that in Serbia. We see that evidence in Bulgaria for so many years. Bulgaria was a fantastic team to watch, especially at the time when it was Balakov, Stoichkov, Rechkov. I was supporting Bulgaria actually at the time. I think it was World Cup.
Yes, 94.
Yes. So, then again, there were some players as Berba, Stilian Petrov, Bozhinov, Martin Petrov. There was some great players, but I think Bulgaria can produce even more. And it's a shame that we don't produce more. If you want to produce more, you have to involve the people from football. You have to involve people that they're following the modern football. They are not living in the past, they're living in the future.
That's very important, not living in the past.
Because only way we can follow the Europe is not because we have more money and we have better facilities, because we have more knowledge and we have more passion. And I think we're losing that. And if we want to come back on a top level, we have to change. We have to start from the grassroots. We have to stop criminals and people with agents that actually causing the problem in football. We have to encourage the coaches, and we have to find a way them feeling that's appreciated, and as well maybe in the end to get some bonuses if they create new players. Because in the end as well we see that new coaches, new generation of the coaches, they want to be the Mourinho in training the kids 13, 14, 15 years old. Not time to be the Mourinho in 13, 14 years old. You have to teach them to stop the ball, to pass the ball, to dribble, to enjoy football. And you know, we have to change mentality, because in Balkan we have a desire, we have a passion, we have will to succeed. And it's shame to see Bulgaria in this shape the football is at the moment.
I agree. Have you completely given up on an idea to leading the Serbian Football Federation?
I didn't give up on the idea of what football should be and how the Serbian football should be run. But you know, what's going to happen in future, you never know. We have to accept that political situation at the moment is like it is. And of course that we are not happy that certain people that we have some, you know, criminal, I would say, parts of it. Some of them are most important than people in football. They've been in jail, and now you are president of the Serbian FA or president of the Red Star Belgrade. So I think that's the bad message you're sending abroad, and you know that's the issue. You know, we have to change, and I think the credibility is something you have to build. You know, sport, and because it should be pure, should be clean. And obviously at the moment in Serbia it's not.
Have you discussed this with Dimitър Бербатов, Stilian Petrov? They also fell with
elections.
With their plans with Bulgarian Football Union.
We talked. Obviously, he at the time when he wanted to be president of the FA, and then after that I tried as well to be in Serbia. I spoke with Stilian as well, with Mikhail as well. So we had same mentality, and what we wanted to do, we didn't want to say, okay, old generation of the ex-football players or people that they run the Bulgarian football, Serbia football, we don't say, hey, now you're moving, we're coming. No, idea was, okay, we want to bring something different. We want to help Bulgarian football going different path, but you should be part of that part as well. You know, we cannot bring you to be around. Obviously, we're going different direction, but let's do it in terms of like together. Obviously, the old generation didn't took that in the right way, and obviously they think that you fighting against them. Obviously, you don't fighting against them. You're fighting for the better football, and you know what is the football like because you're living abroad for 18 years. You see, you know, big clubs. You see the big national teams. You're speaking languages. You following the new generations, and you have to know what they need. And shame that again Serbia and Bulgarian people that they're running the football that didn't understand that, and we are further away now from to getting to the right path.
Okay, the date is 27th of May 2009. Manchester lose the final against Barcelona, but on this day you also became a father for a second time. Could you explain the feelings during that day? What do you feel? You lose the final, but you became a father.
I think nothing better than to be a father, and obviously that's still a special day for me and in my home. Obviously, playing final and lose is the worst feeling ever, but still, I managed to play 3 finals of Champions League. We won 1. We lost 2 times against Barcelona. So it's tough, but you know, if you look at my life, I have so many memories, but I have to say that the best part of my life was in Manchester United, because I got my 3 kids there playing for Man United. I won so many trophies, and I think as a person, I cannot say I changed, but I think that I mature. I grow up in terms of right values, you know, when I was...
More responsibility.
More responsibility, because I came to the club when I was 24, and it was the right time when you have to understand what is the life you want to live, what is the priorities, and, you know, I learned that obviously playing for Man United and obviously growing with my family. So, yes, Stefan was born on that day, and yeah, it's a special moment.
Who was your funniest teammate in Manchester United?
That's a tough question. Obviously, we have some silly guys, obviously, in dressing room. You know, that's probably the guys you would say that are funniest. But you know what? I always, you know, have a certain people around me. There was Robin, Van Persie, Berba, Edwin. So Rio, and you know, we have different kind of laugh, you know, so it's difficult to say, but you know, with the young players you always laugh more, because they're always going to bring something different in the dressing room, you know. At the time, you know, we are the family guys which they're spending time with the family, kids, but these guys, they're going out and they're coming with the stories, so that's always...
I understand.
Yeah, and
I know what you mean.
If you ask me what I'm missing now, I'm missing the dressing room. I'm not missing football, because that dressing room keeps you young. Because so many different mentalities, different generations, with different sense of humor. And you know, if you ask me what I miss, the dressing room, 100%.
Hardest working teammate?
Ronaldo.
The laziest? Tevez.
In the dressing room and in the training ground, Tevez is not training, is not running, is not doing anything. That was laziest player I ever played. In the game, it's harder player to play against, but in the trainings, he's just walking. He's not trying at all.
This reason that I'm surprised, yeah. The most technical?
If you ask me pure technical, Berba. If you ask me skillful, I would say Ronaldo. Yeah. No, if you ask the touch, if you ask the vision, if you ask the control, understanding of the game, Berba is the top one. If you ask me different skills, Cristóbal, if you ask me who has a better shoot, I would say Robin van Persie, chop, you know, that's Robin, you know. If you ask me power and strength and running behind Wayne Rooney, if you ask me the good teammate to play, you know, going into the war, probably Wayne Rooney and Tevez, you know, they have always give 100% during the game, you know, that's, you know, yeah.
Are the billions spent on players really justified? What do you think?
I think
is that
you can bring the players, but you cannot build a team. I think that shows that Paris Saint-Germain, if you look at the last year, you know, they invest so much money over the years and having the best players in the world.
Yeah, also Arsenal.
And they didn't win the Champions League. But last year you didn't expect them winning the Champions League, but because they're a good team.
Yes.
So, you know, I think that obviously you can buy, you know, maybe commercial things. You can buy maybe to be in maybe top 2, top 3 teams, top 4 teams, but to win consistently every year, you need more than money.
Rafa Benitez says once that the reason he didn't won the Premier League was because on a bench he has players for 20 millions, and he compared this with Klopp stuff. Because Klopp, he said more than 200 millions of bench. So is this just the money make the difference, or is something else?
No, we have to say that, of course, but if you look at the now teams that are winning, they're always going to be the teams with a certain amount of money. You know, there is just one happened that Leicester won a Premier League, so that was great for the Premier League, but it's not going to happen every year. But if you look at the budgets of the teams in Premier League, you have 5 teams that they have a similar budget. So in the long term, if you look at the United, I think they spend more than Man City, but they still, we don't have a team and we don't win the trophy. So it should be a lot of things, you know, you have to do right to win the trophy. So I think that philosophy is important. I think that if you look at the Guardiola, I think he has a philosophy. The way he plays, obviously, he needs certain players to play that level. But you know, that's why he won, but because the players trust him what he want to achieve. You know, you know football as well. You've been on the pitch, around the pitch. And it's important that players trust you. You have to have respect from the players. To have respect is not just to shout and, you know, to be strict. You have to have a knowledge and you have to make the right decisions. If you don't have that, you're not going to have respect from the players. And obviously Guardiola had, Mourinho had, Ferguson had. So it's come from the coach. And I think that that's the most important position in the club, because he's representative of the club, not just bringing the players. Obviously, he's going to help from the sport director, but week in, week out, you are in a press conference speaking about the football. You have to be right. You have to engage the media in the right way. You have to talk to the players the right way, even through the media.
And to be honest with them also.
Of course. So, you know, I think the coach and sport director is the most important, and general director the most important position in the club. If you don't have that right, it will be difficult.
Okay, Manchester United paid for you £7 million, 2006. If now Manchester have to buy 25 years old Nemanja Видич, what will be the price? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. Even at the time, Rio Ferdinand came 2 years before me in Man United for £30 million. So actually, on the market, that was my value. But that, again, that was the scouting system. Manager recognized my quality. Patrice Evra as well, like he came, I think, maybe for £10 million. Michael Carrick came for £20 million. But as well, Sir Alex Ferguson had Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, Gary Neville, Wes Brown, John O'Shea, Darren Fletcher coming from the youth. Mm-hmm. So actually, it's not just about the money. Yeah. So he has a vision. He knows I want to have a British players. I want to have a players from the youth, players that are understanding the club, they understand the values of the club, and then I will have certain players from abroad with certain characteristics, character, you know. So I think that's what I'm trying to say. You know, you have to have philosophy. You have to understand the football and understand who you are and how to achieve that.
I think the date is 21st of May. Moscow. What were you thinking when John Terry go to take the penalty?
That penalty.
That penalty.
Nothing really, because you know, you think obviously it's over. You know, if you score, you know, a game is over. But
is that what's special for you, that in Moscow is the final?
First of all, yes, because obviously I play for Spartak Moscow. I play on that stadium, Luzhniki. I just played 1.5 years before in Russia, and you play now Champions League final for Man United. So, especially if you look at the Russian league, there's just one player managed to play before me in the Premier League. That was the Kanchelskis. He played for Man United. So not many players actually left Russia and playing for the Premier League team and any team in Europe. So it was fantastic memory, but that moment actually was moment that you think it's over, but there was as well moment you thinking, you know, if you miss, you know, I'm shooting maybe next. Because because Gaffer said 5 players they're going to shoot the penalties, and then there was the 2-3 players after coming, Ryan Giggs and myself, who's shooting next. And I remember Ryan Giggs asked me, who's shooting next, you or me? I said, whatever you said, you know, you decide. But I was thinking, please, you shoot, Ryan.
Not me.
Listen, normally I shoot penalties before, and I never miss penalty.
Yeah, but the pressure.
But the pressure, Champions League final, you know, to shoot, you know.
But
it's not
I
easy.
think you're brave.
No, of course I will shoot, but you know, in that moment, first time in my life, you're not saying, no, I will shoot. I will say, you decide, you know. If you shoot, I will not mind, you know what I mean?
You're ready for political. You decide.
How did you celebrate this Champions League?
With a lot of alcohol. I have to say that, even if it's bad to say that, you know, for the young generations, but this is the time when, you know, you can celebrate because with the family was there, my mom, dad. I remember how happy they are actually, me lifting the trophy and meet Bobby Charlton, Sir Alex Ferguson, and other parents of my teammates. So, to be fair, I think that was one of the special moments in my life. We had a party, but didn't last long because we left Luzhniki 2 o'clock in the morning, so we came at hotel at 3 o'clock in the morning. We left hotel for airport 8 o'clock. So actually it was 4 or 5 hours of partying, but we didn't sleep. We went straight away to airport and then Manchester. And like I said before, we didn't celebrate with the fans. We left straight away to on holiday for 3 weeks, and yeah, that's it. And yeah, but listen, not many players manage to lift the Champions League trophy, so I'm lucky and to be part of such a team.
They Lovren allowed Mo Salah to say brate. Did you manage someone in Manchester on the same?
Berba, Rio, that's the two.
Rio said brate.
Brate. Berba is natural. Brate, that's, I don't have to teach him. Yeah. We, you know. So, yeah, Berba have an opportunity to play with some other Serbian players before me. So he knew a bit of Serbian already. And to be fair, Berba is kind of a guy. He speaks well Serbian, obviously. He can speak a bit Russian. He can speak English. So his English is fluent as well. So
multifunctional.
Yeah, and I remember Berba always coming to the bus. What you're gonna see when you come into the bus? You're gonna see Berba having the book in his hand, having the laptop, few movies ready to watch, music, and that's Berba. And he always was angry on me, you know, because when he started watching the movie, I always ask him questions. Berba, what do you think about this? And he always gonna say, "Shut up, Serbian! You annoy me so much," you know. But yeah, Berba is the king.
I think someone would like to tell you as well, brate, and this is our second surprise for you.
Okay.
Now I know who is he. Styrian.
Yeah.
Styrian.
Just a second. He has a special message for you.
Zdravo, brate. We meet again. I've been asked to send you a very short message, and I hope I find you well. I would like to express my admiration for your footballing career and the qualities that made you an icon in the world of football. Your footballing qualities, your work ethic, tactical awareness, and leadership has made you the leader you are today. After finishing your MIP program and meeting you a couple of months ago, I saw even stronger leader, much confident and more knowledgeable. Please never change. Enjoy the interview, and I hope I'll see you soon. See you later.
What a guy. What a guy.
Yes. Stanis.
Amazing guy. And listen, I'll tell you something. A lot of people, you know, because he was on MIP as well, he was a generation before me, and people in UEFA as well have a really good opinion about him, and he's as well. I think the bear behind him, I think the very intelligent guys, very clever guys. I think the guys that's ready to learn, ready to improve. And to be fair, I think what happened in his career as well make him stronger. What he went through at the time as a football player, as a person, and him and his family is something to admire. So I remember, we had conversation and we travel. I remember together, and you have to be character.
Nemanja, when will Man United fans have reasons to be happy and proud again?
Tough question. I think that I answered partly before. I think you need right people in the right positions. You have to start from the sport director, general director, and coach. And then, obviously, after that, you have to bring the players, right players, not just players, quality players, in terms of the football quality, but as well mentality. We miss that. I think that's the issue. I think we have mentality. So I think it will take time, Man United, to be again what was 10 years ago.
Okay. I would like to ask you something else. What do you think about the case from this summer with Alexander Isak? Is that was fair? What is your opinion?
I think that's happened in the past. It's not the first case. Players want to leave. Club don't want to let him go. So I think the players now have more power than ever. Is it that good? I think the amount of money we have in football creating this situation that clubs, they don't want to lose the money. If players, they don't want to play for the club, eventually he will go. And that's why I said in the beginning as well, the coaches, they don't have power no more. Now if the coaches have problems with Isak, which is worth 90 million, who will go? Isak or coach? So that's the issue we have in football. I think with the fair play and obviously thinking about how to invest in football. Is it the right way just to invest in the players or invest in general in football, in how to spend the money? There is the question, there is the limit. So we have to think about that. I think there is the salary cap in basketball, isn't it? So maybe it should be something similar in football. There is a lot of questions to be asked, and I think we have to put in the biggest position in the football people that understand, ex-football players, not political people. We don't have many of them in UEFA, in FIFA. I think we have to have them more. I think this MIP course, which Styrian finished, Mikhail finished as well, few Serbian players as well, and a lot of others. I think this is the good direction. That necessarily mean that we should be there, but I think this is the direction that we have to educate new generation. We have to prepare them. We have to think about which direction football is going, and in these courses, you're not just learning, you're sharing your opinions. And that's the best way to learn. Everyone have different ideas, and that's the way to learn. If everyone listen to one man speaking all the time and going in one direction, you're never going to improve. So I think we have to think strongly which direction football is going, and hopefully we'll start sooner. I think UEFA has to be better. That's my opinion as well. UEFA has to help as well football grow. Because in the end of the day, UEFA is the political organization, and we see that and we understand that, but they have to more focus on the things what happening in certain countries. And I think they didn't do that well. they should do more. Obviously, they give the money to the
more careful others
I think they give money to the small countries, but you give money to the people that are in charge of those countries. And I'm not sure they're looking how they're spending that money, how they're using that money, what the situation in the countries. Is it national competitions, the regular? So there is a lot of questions to be asked, and I'm sad that certain people that are running, they are in charge on certain positions. They didn't take care more what's happening, especially because they know what the situation is in this part of the world.
Okay, to the end of our conversation, I would like to ask you something. I saw soon that Scott McTominay, he goes to Napoli to play for Napoli, and he said that finally in Italy he understood what is mean taste of tomato. how was in Manchester with tomatoes case?
Obviously, Italy, it doesn't matter where you live. When you go to Italy, I don't think you will find a better place for food.
Is that really disaster to eat tomatoes in England, in UK?
I don't say
Like
it's disaster, but I think in general, if you look at the foods all over the world, you know, sometimes we ask ourselves what we're eating. Obviously, to eat fresh tomato, organic food, you have to pay as well. So, but Italy, that's the culture. Food is the way of living. You know, people, you know, in Italy, you know, when they wake up in the morning, they're thinking what we're going to eat, and it's not just how much you're going to eat, quality. It's not quantity. So, yes, they have fresh, obviously, ingredients, fresh fish, meat, you know, vegetables, you know, good wine. So, if you want to enjoy life, if you want to have a good life, you go to live in Italy. But I have to say it's not easy to work in Italy. If you ask me, I would prefer more to work in England than in Italy. But if you want to enjoy life, Italy is the place.
Nemanja, I want to say big thank you that you open your doors, your heart, your mind for us. And
But I'd like to say on Serbian, hvala ti puno.
I have to say, first of all, I'm not doing many of podcasts, especially with
We appreciate
foreign countries and people that they're not from Serbia or England. And I did it because I have great experience with the Bulgarian players. So this is something that I have to mention. You have great ambassadors in the world. And it was my pleasure to do the interview with you guys. I hope that you enjoy.
Thank you so much.
And big hi to the Bulgarian fans, and I wish you all the best in the future, and I hope that you again enjoy football and be in the place you deserve, because history of your football saying that you should be in a better place.
Thank you.
maybe soon we can say welcome
Of course.
in our CSK Sofia.
For the new stadium opening. Okay. Thank you very much. Once again. Thank you, brate.
Thank you. Hvala.